Hello, everyone. Good morning. That's not morning. So I might say good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. It's a great afternoon here. Um, I know a lot of you are suffering. Boy, today has been the cancer day, and that I've got it in 3 or 4 place day. Whew. Whew. I'll tell you, it's all over the place. You guys keep learning. You guys are sharp. You're learning. You're helping people. I love it. I can't say enough good things about each and every one of you. You're wearing that robe and riding that Bronco, man. Some of you are having some hard times. Tina, hang in there in Canada, man. You'll get it. Just keep hanging, sweetheart. You know, I can only tell you that, this whole discussion on chemo and radiation, you just, if you have any questions about it, you just need to talk to people that have had it done and see where they are and see what's happened. Only a very small fraction, according to the FDA, what was it, 6%, is alive and halfway doing okay. That percentage is not good. The rest of them are in severe pains, ravish their body with these acids, and their body already was ravaged with acid, so it makes things tough. So hang it in there, guys. You guys are so good. I'm loving it. You keep moving those limps. That's all I can tell you. You got to realize through all these years we've trimmed all the fat off for you guys, and some of you are going to take a look in other places. That's all. That's whatever you want to do. But keep this always the core, and realize we've trimmed a lot of the fat that you go nowhere doing. And some of the stuff is counterproductive. She was this one particular lady here is cancer all through her basically, and they told her to go whey protein and all this stuff. Well, of course she can't get rid of it. Okay, now let me see here. A couple comments here. This is Sam. I'm not a Republican, Sam. I'm a Ron Paul guy. Even though he might be under the Republican, he can fit under anything. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in, if I had to say anything, and what I believed in was the Constitution. The problem with the Democrats is they believe in more taxes is the answer. You can't get out of denying that, because that's that they say. They're more socialist thinking. They're more government and higher taxes. I don't like the half of the Republican thinking either, but at least they're lower taxes, but they're definitely for big business. But there is some truth to the fact that those people that have businesses, you can't squeeze them or they're not going to be in business. For an example, if the government forced us to buy health care for our employees at the rate they're thinking, we'd just close up our shop. We wouldn't be in business anymore. If that's good government, I don't know. So I'm not either one of these. I don't like to put myself anywhere. But I can say that what we see, even in the Republican Party, is just a bunch of crap. What we see, I wish Ron Paul would have stuck his son up there. I think he probably didn't feel he was, had enough experience. But I tell you, we don't need political experience. We don't even need foreign relationship experience. We need someone with love and understanding and knows what the average individual has to put up with. Here's a gentleman that got real mad, and he said, not happy with this company. He's mad because it cost $11.37 to ship a 7-ounce package to RI from Florida. I only tell you guys, we have absolutely nothing to do with shipping. Nothing. We go between UPS and Postal. We UPS for years, then we had so much problems, we went over to FedEx. FedEx is more money, so we squeezed back to the little brown people, and we've negotiated as much as we can. If we were a multi-million-dollar-a-year company, perhaps they would negotiate more, but the shipping is horrendous. You think you got it? You ought to see what we pay. We got to have these herbs shipped to us. So you ought to see what we pay in shipping. We do add a little handling, I think $2 or something, because we have to pay for boxes, we have to pay for peanuts, we have to pay for tape, we have to pay someone back there to wrap them. And we are paying someone to do all the labeling and the shipping side of that, not the packer, but someone to set up the shipping coordinates and set up the UPS thing or the postal service. So I have at least 3 employees I have to pay that they don't have an income in this company anywhere other than out of the herbs you buy. So, and then we give a lot of the herbs away, so you can see why we're not a multi-million-dollar a year company. Okay, let me see here. I did go through a lot of these last night, so let me go through some of your questions. I apologize for lagging so far behind, but you guys keep me hopping pretty good, and then I'm just really busy here at work, so I apologize to you guys. Hang in there. Hopefully you'll get so many videos that somewhere your questions will be answered, and then you can always call here if it's a stat question. And a question that you need answered real quick. This is from Daniel. Hello, Dr. Morris. I'm currently on Juice Fast 10 of 60 days. Well, you're probably down about 12 or 13 by now. And Chris, I've had a video shot for 2 days. He hadn't got it up yet, so I hope he's getting it up for you. Unfortunately, I had to get on Centron a little bit because, you know, here I've got a brain cancer case, and she thought she could eat eggs because Centron said it was okay. Huh. I mean, this is not good. You don't take these high cancer people and start introducing them to eggs and meats and stuff like this. They'll never get well, and then you're kind of responsible for that problem. So this, you can't have that. This is and all of you with cancers out there, no meat, no eggs, nothing like that. You can't get well doing that. That's how you got sick in the first place, was eating these things. Who in society doesn't eat eggs and meat? Not too many. All you good guys know better. But the average person eats these already, and that's why they're where they're at. So we got to take all that away. Just makes sense. This is from London, Piotr. Boy, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sounds pretty interesting. And you use the Daniel Skip. Interesting, my friend. I'm a bit confused about the supplements. When not to detoxify, I'm taking honey, bee pollen, kelp, alfalfa, God's Garden Superfood Blend 2. Should I stop taking them on a juice only or take them to speed up the detox? Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you there, man. You know what? You can do either way. It does not matter. I will say this. I probably wouldn't do the bee pollen, the alfalfa, even the superfood blend. I would probably, if I'm going on a fast, you would want to do the lymphatic formulas, the kidney formulas, all those kind of herbs. And then the nutritive side of that, kind of maybe set that to the side a little bit, because you got a lot of goodies in the superfood blend. I hope you like that. I love that blend. I've got a lot of these singers, you know, that take that. The Letterman, I got a lot of people suck that down for energy and vitality and endurance. But you can or cannot. No one, you know, when I do a fast, it's either straight or with the herbs. With the herbs, going to kick your butt. But that's okay. Some of you need that. So it's all right, you know, either way. But the food side of this, I probably leave that off and go ahead and fast. And this is Emerald Rain. Boy, do I love that name. I've gone from 3% fruit to 90% fruit after watching your videos. Often I will slice up 3 organic ripe pears for a snack. Ooh, with or without the skin. And I've noticed that this gives me a short burning. I don't know why that is. Eating pears gives this individual some acidity sensation, some upper stomach area things. Yeah, you might want to back down. I don't know why you're getting that with pears. They're not a real acidy fruit. They're really mild, the pears I'm used to. So I don't know. Can't be harmful, but then I don't know what's in there doing that. You know, are you eating the seeds or something? Could be a little arsenic in the seeds. I'd get away from eating the seeds if you're doing that. So I don't know what to tell you about that. Switch to grapes or something maybe. And if you still feel that, then you've got something going on in the stomach, and you need to get that stomach and bowel number 1 or 2, and maybe some lymphatic capsules or something. Clean that gut up a little bit, and then you should be able to tolerate that quite well. If it's not a chemical on it or something like that, it's organic, so it shouldn't be. But do we trust everybody nowadays? Oh, you used to. I was raised with a handshake. That's it. My dad was that way totally. When my dad told you something, that was it. You could take it to the bank. I don't know why people aren't that way nowadays. Thanks for the comment there, Matt Carbon 4. Thank you for that. You resonate with what's in my heart. You know what? I appreciate that. I try to resonate truth as much as I've learned and get things away. I don't like to dilly-dally and mess around with things that are half-truths and things like that. Why waste your time on things that have no substance to them? You want truth. As close to truth as you can always seek. And I just have always been that kind of person. My family and many people around me always made me feel like my views were silly and wrong. No, your views aren't silly and wrong, my dear. Or you are right on, spot on. And you can, and I think you all need to feel good about who you are and what you know and what you're doing. You need to feel real good about that, because you're pace setters, you're trend setters, you're the healers of the future and of the now. And the world needs you so bad. So whatever it takes for you, you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to get disappointed with friends not really backing you sometimes. There's all kinds of issues facing, and working with sick people all the time has its own special energy toward you. And this is the other problem. When you're working with people, and it's getting insane out there. And I warned you all about the children. You're seeing more. You had a 16-year-old lad in here yesterday. And I'm seeing a lot more of these younger children. Of course, then we have babies out the yin-yang here with all kinds of major genetic issues backing up the lymph systems and everything else. So we're in serious trouble here in the human side. So you guys all need to stand tall, stand strong, and we need to unite as one and walk hand in hand and change the consciousness of this planet, because no one's above going down, and that includes the wealthy, including the Bilderbergers and the Rockefellers and all these kind of people. Melissa, dear one, May Freaky, I'm glad to see you come back fight. Thanks, sweetheart. I needed that break. You know what? But I've been working. I'm moving, and so I love big trees, so, if I plant a little tree, I'm going to be long gone before I see it big, so I buy them big. So I've got friends that move big trees, and so we were moving some very big trees through the weekend, and wow, that's fun. A karmic illness. Oh, this is Lilac Festival. Well, if you get away with from the concept of diseases, and you look at this in terms of weaknesses and chemistry and fluids, because that's really the bottom line here, isn't it? So when you look at these weaknesses, and an example would be the adrenal weaknesses. And what I've seen, for those that can remember past lives, or they talk and are involved with people that can take you to past lives, and there's a lot of the Jungian work. You remember Jung? So there's a lot of Jungian work. Jungian dream work was hot back in the 70s, where they would take you back into your dreams consciously and get you to be awake at that time. Because in developing out-of-body experiences and developing your spirituality, you are always going to be awake. That's the problem, is that the negative side of that is that you're always awake. And to sleep, who's sleeping? Not you, because soul doesn't sleep. It doesn't have that Who's sleeping? Not you, because soul doesn't sleep. It doesn't have that ability to be not there and there, so to speak. So there is that tug there. So I get very little sleep. It's just impossible because you're always awake. But I work in relaxing the body and always trying to keep my body relaxed while I'm doing everything else. And that's a trip because you get passionate about things. I get passionate about things. I've had this chemo and radiation. I'm ready to do some shoving up some butts. But, it's only because of the suffering you guys are going through. Some of you guys, I just want to cry along with you. Tina, I love you, dear one. Just keep fighting the fight. I think you ought to maybe use the black salve to pull it, but you need somebody there that's strong and it can handle it, and you've got to be strong because you're actually going to pull that tumor right out of that spine. And, it's going to be a little painful, but generally not as painful as as what you're going through. So, sometimes you're grabbing for everything you can. Hunter Lester, haven't talked to you in a while. Go Hunter, man. Thanks a lot, bro. Power of the berries, absolutely. I'm glad you experienced the blueberries and the blackberries. Woohoo! I'm from a farm, and I suck down the blackberries all the time. I'm going like this all over the place. I've always loved fruit. The problem in Indiana, you don't always push fruit. That's the problem. So yeah, you could have, but these things will kick your butt. I mean, people don't think, the power is, look at this. The elements are just elementals. The plants take in all those elementals, convert them to salts. And then all this nutrition is combined and mutated and created and put into the fruits and berries and said, here, this is for you. This is the EFFINI. Thanks for watching the videos there, my friend. I'm 32-year-old male. I'm tall. I'm thin. I started on your Herbal Detox 1 and 2 and an all-raw diet eating mainly fruits. Last night I had a big raw salad. And this morning I woke up with diarrhea and lots of undigested vegetables. Now, this could have just purged you, and sometimes it does. Fruits will do the same thing. It'll just start purging and cleaning. That's your body doing that. That's not a gauge for fruits causes diarrhea in people. Some people think that. That isn't true, but they are the cleansers of the foods. So they do have sometimes a purging effect in vegetables too. In that case, it just purged you, spastic your bowels, and you didn't have time to digest it. If you were eating it on a normal basis and chewing well and you saw undigested food matter, you could suspect the pancreas. You're thin, so that does lead me into suspicion of pancreas. So I would take, just for the heck of it, I'd take the pancreatic capsules, and then at the same time I'd tear into the stomach and bowel, tear onto the lymphatics for the bowel, the lymphatic 1 or lymph node 2, got to be careful with that one, and really start cleaning the bowels. Now we're having a hard time getting lymphatic 1 capsules. The people we have now working with our herbs, we don't overly like them very well. They haven't been very good to us. But I would make sure I correct any malabsorption issues, which is lymphatic, and definitely pop up your pancreas to work a little better. And you, after a little while, you might put on some muscle in you, or a little more weight there. One doesn't want to always be big. Not only do I want to improve my own health, but also many others. Go, go, go. This is HD Biker. You good man, good man. I hope your granddaughter and your son and you guys are doing well, guy. You guys, if you look at most of these, all of you are doing quite well. Yeah, there's some ups and downs. I don't know of anything that's perfect that way, but you guys, I am just literally proud of you. I promote you guys everywhere I go. I brag on you guys everywhere because you're a great team. We're a great channel here. We want to be a healing, loving channel, and if we can keep it that way, then that's a message we want to show the world. We can all live in our own countries and everybody be happy and loving, and we can end the wars and we get everybody healthy, and we'll all have fruit farms and everybody sit around and talk about our interplanetary or interdimensional travels. This is a sweetheart. This is Margaret Schultz. Dr. Morris. Hi. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. I appreciate that. All your comments there, my dear one. Let me see. I'm a vegetarian and raw foodist. I've been on raw foods and I've been vegetarian now going on 8 months. Good deal. Only Bobby. Go for it, sweetheart. Kick it up, honey. You guys are just, I'm just, really doing well. Here's Helena, la 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 la. I love that, honey. Yeah, that's right. Oh, thanks. I'm addicted to you guys too. You guys are just a great bunch of people, and it's fun to be able to help a whole bunch of people. Generally, I run probably 100 people in my office at any given time. This way, I'm being able to get to more people this way, and it's just it fills my mission, and it just really binds us all to the proper sort of binding, and I just love it. It's just great. Here's Lucy Rose Petal. He didn't say cinnamon. I said cinnamon. Yeah, you're right. Now I get why cinnamon. So I addressed that yesterday. Cinnamon. It is a pharmaceutical. It's like cocaine. It's an antispasmodic of sorts. Those with Parkinson's are very aware of it. If you look at Michael J. Fox and you looked at him chronologically, you can see now that he can't hardly stop shaking. And this is the problem with things like drugs like this is they're suppressive in nature. They're not strengthening. And herbs are strengthening. And they also, you can use an herbal antispasmodic which controls spasms and seizures, but at the same time feeds the nervous system, as something like cinnamon, which gets you addicted like cocaine. It's the hardest drug I've ever seen anybody try to titrate off. So it's a tough one for you. And so I just don't recommend them. I love botanicals because they feed, they restore, they enhance, they don't suppress. This whole concept of suppression and killing cells and killing bacteria is just, that's constipated. That's ignorant. That I can't say enough negative things about that sort of thinking. It's not 21st century. It's first century. This question's been going around. So it is healthier to be cooler than hotter. I like the middle path. It's better to be in the middle path. You're comfortable. You're not hot. You're not cold. You're not real acid. You're not real alkaline. Look at the blood, 7.4. That's a good lesson for us because it's a little base. It's not high base, but it's a little base. So you're not on the acid side. You're not high on the alkalosis side. So you're right there. And that's where you're the most comfortable. And so both sides. You can use either side to promote, though. You can use heat to drive, to dilate. You can use cold to constrict. You can use cold to break up. You use cold when you're hot and hot when you're cold. That's the Chinese way. But we're still dealing in the duality of things. So for me, I want that middle path. I want that 7.4. I want that 7 to 8.5. The periods that, this is from Daniel. Hey, Dan. Hey, Dan the man. The periods that I've been on high fruit, I could hardly sleep. I know. This is, I tell you, powerful. And imagine, I mean, I see all these birds eating these berries, and then they're just on a buzz, man. And I can imagine the power of some of these great organic fruits down in the tropics. Eating a diet of just that is just, it's killing me. A durian rider, if he has been a fruitarian for, yeah, I have to agree with you guys. I'm with you guys on this sort of thing. But you have to realize, I think, that a lot of us, when we've had years and years and years and years in this, and travel and the stresses and the sitting down in the offices and all that, no excuse, but it is, in a way, it's just, stressors of every level, and this, it's really the test of God, when you start developing conscious and becoming more conscious, then comes the test. How long can you keep it? I bet I can knock that off. That sort of thing. So then all your tests start coming to test whether you can maintain it. Your mate might be someone that's totally opposite than you. All right? Now that's difficult. Real difficult. And then you got all the other things. And all these are little pieces of trying to get that conscious awareness unconscious again. and to break your self-discipline. So I realize that I've been victim of that myself quite a bit. So it's just, some of these things. But B12 injections, come on, that's for people that are just, hanging on to some kind of medical crap thinking. This is Odyssey Berry or something like that. Hi, Dr. Morris. Hey, beautiful picture. Happy New Year and Happy New Year to all of you guys. You too, sweetheart. Please help. I have 2 large brown discolorations on my face, which suddenly appeared. They'll come off. Keep going. Keep on going. But you might want to pop up your pituitary just for a minute. Keep moving that lymph. Do some fungal kill in the body. No one in my family has skin. It could even be part of detox. If it's not a part of detoxification, then it's just showing how acidic and could be breaking down the pituitary a little bit. Generally, you wouldn't be darker patches. It'd be wider patches. Recently, I started to notice my hands and feet are cold, so you're losing your so you are up in this head area. Your thyroid is going down a little bit. My mom died from a stroke. There you go. Would the pineal glandular be helpful for me? No, the pituitary glandular. What are the signs of a weak pineal gland? Inability to rest, insomnia. Thank you so much, and I love your channel, and I love you. Thank you for coming aboard. Yeah, the pituitary, but I would really focus on my lymph system. Pop up your thyroid, maybe with a thyroid glandular or some thyroid herbs, or use kelp or something like that to help. Check your basal temperatures under your arm. It's a little bit of a look. Nothing's perfect, but it is certainly definitely a fairly good look. Better than blood work, much more accurate than blood. When you're assessing someone, you're going to assess their symptoms. And then you can use simple little things like basals and looking at the urine, things that are not, this idea in medical that you must have these studies and and all this research, that's just ignorant thinking. That's just somebody's got to get your money, whether it's a scientist in some lab somewhere or it's American Cancer Society just raking it in. I can just see these little guys stack some money around saying, boy, we really got those women going on breast cancer awareness, all right. No offense to the ladies, but ladies, you've got to start taking care of yourselves and not trusting the AMA. These guys don't care. This is a money machine like no other. We all got to get knowledged up, so when you feel a lump, you take care of it right now. You don't have to fear, oh, look, my lymph's backing up. You go in and take care of those kidneys and move that lymph right now. And then you're done. And you're okay, good. And any women that have fibrocystic breasts, you're walking right there. Get rid of them. That's lymph. So always remember, when you feel something, if you're menses and when you're menstruating, you feel sore breasts, that's an indicator that you already have acidosis in the breast, and you want to get that out. Whenever you notice signs of something, take care of it right then, and you're done. You're given the tools here, and then you guys that are going out being the healers help others to get the tools, and then everyone will learn how to take care of themselves. They don't panic and do some very, very seriously stupid things, like chemo and radiation. That thing is, I almost puke saying it. Hemp plant protein. I've never mentioned hemp plant protein. I try to. I mean, you can put hemp powder in babies' formulas. There's all kinds of things. I didn't put too much in the book. I didn't think of it when I wrote the book, to tell you the truth. But I'll put it in my new book. I mean, I've got to kind of bring that up. I'll talk about hemp protein and stuff. I'm really not much into thinking in that sort of way, like protein, using that word. It's a little bit of a misnomer, and it gives the wrong impression of what a person needs, so that's why I don't really use the word proteins too much. It's that medical doctor thinking again. They love the acid side, the nitrogen side, the protein side. It's a little bit of a misnomer, and it gives the wrong impression of what a person needs, so that's why I don't really use the word proteins too much. It's that medical doctor thinking again. They love the acid side, the nitrogen side, the protein side. But life is really a carbon print. You're near on carbon and oxygen side. Remember, the strongest animals on the planet do not eat proteins. They probably suck down on hemp plants, though. Someone asked me what I was smoking in the back room. Nothing, but a good Sensimilia wouldn't hurt. Let me see. This is NVS LKNM. Sometimes my body jitters mostly on one side, left side, almost like it had a slight electrical shock. This is mostly not noticeable. Yeah, I would take care of this right on. First of all, get your adrenals and kidneys moving. That's key, par one. That's going to be the autonomic, so you want to get that done. Again, go after that colon, get your sinuses drained, get all these acids out of the body that can be irritating any nervous system, the adrenals that are weakening the nervous systems, anything in the brain, anything in the cerebellum. This is all lymph. Clean all that up. Use the new brain and nerve formula. Strengthen your cells. This won't lead to anything but not good. So you want to clean all your body out, get your adrenals up, get your kidneys filtering, and get on down the road there, dear one. You don't want to live with that electrical type of feeling there. Any info on calcified tendinitis? Acidosis. You know, I could just sit here and go, acidosis. Yeah, sounds like people that blame everything on candida. But really, when you trim the fat off of this, you see that the body is nothing but cells and two major fluids and only two sides of chemistry. So once you really get this, it becomes repetitively simplistic. Some of the symptoms, in the areas can be complex, but the body cleans that right out. Same thing here. Anything becomes calcified is very acidic. Acids create calcification, ionizes calcium. It's all about acidosis, which is a byproduct of failure of the kidneys to filter, right? Which is a byproduct of adrenal glands that are sitting there taking a snooze. Oh, what do you want me to do? Here's someone that moved those limbs. Yeah! I love that. Now you got to have a little side thing there. This is a question I thought was important. Looking forward to a diploma class in Florida. Looking forward to see you. This is Naveed from New Jersey. Could you talk about shingles? Absolutely. What to do during shingles, what one should eat and also avoid, what herbal formulas you recommend during shingles. Okay. You remember we talked about the strong survive, the weak are consumed. You see that everywhere in nature. You know it's a fact of life here on this planet. But it's an essential fact of life, and you have to be emotionally detached from that and look at it from the perspective of the broader picture. To sustain a biosphere that sustains untold amount of species, you can't reproduce your weaknesses. You must consistently reproduce strengths and eliminate the weaknesses. And we haven't learned that with Homo sapiens, and I've had a lot of conversations about that. You have to take the emotional component out of this. This is why it's important for those spiritual people that understand that life is conscious, more soul, more awareness, way beyond this little realm of matter and material bodies. So when we produce a material body for a soul to use, it is still just a material body. So sometimes they're so mutated, we need to drop them and let that soul go on and grab a healthier body. For some, that's a shocker. But it's nature, it's God, not me. But you can understand why that exists, and that's also important in your body at the cellular level. That's what your immune system's for. That's what virals are for. Virals are one way of cleaning the weak out of the body, if you can stand it. The biggest problem is that we've become systemically weak. So some people can really get chewed on real bad. So some of our game here is going to be to try to strengthen and detox and do all this stuff together. But with that said, shingles is nothing but herpes on the nervous system, herpes on the myelin sheath, which is the coating of the nerves. So this is just a viral attachment. A viral attachment. Virals are proteins. So guess what medium you don't want to be in? Acid protein medium. That always brings herpes out. Notice it, like pineapple or anything too acidic. If you eat too much protein, you'll start getting these little simplex sores. You can be genital, it can be in the mouth. I don't care. Location, location, location. Still a viral, still attaches to weak cells. And proteins, of course, acidify the body and bring out that. You'll notice that when you're eating alkaline, a lot of times these will go dormant. Get your body acidic and they come right out. And if you do too many acid fruits, they'll come out too, because that's acid clashing with acid. Even though fruits, most of them have a base chemistry reaction. So, two things. You want to strengthen up the adrenal glands, which in turn will bring up the neurotransmitters, which in turn strengthens the myelin sheaths in the nervous system. Using the new brain and nerve formula is a good help with that. Getting up, cleaning out the brain, cleaning the lymph. It always comes back to cleaning out your lymphatic system, which is where the acids are, and getting away from proteins. You never want to eat proteins or heavy amino acids in the presence or where you have herpes involvements, because you're going to always fight them. They are acid proteolytic virals. You just really want to get away from the acid side. But this is what we're all struggling to do anyway, is get away from the acid side of life. And so some of the things you have to do is make strong that which is weak. And when you ask what weakens things, it's always going to go back to the lymph system, acids, and that side of chemistry. And protein is going to fall on that side of chemistry, like it or not. You can go back and say, man's been eating meat for millions of years. Stop and take a look at the health of man. Just stop and take a look around. And that's for you too, Centron. Stop and take a look around. What you do not see robustly healthy people eating an omnivorish diet and eggs and meat, you don't see healthy people doing that. I don't care what these people claim. Just look around. How many people are sick? All right. Now, let's see. Plum vine. Oh, pretty picture. Thank you so much for your videos. Oh, yeah, that was good information, I thought. She's talking about the Atlantean civilization. The question is, did Atlantis and Lemuria go down overnight or in time? My feeling, it went down for the most part in time, and then maybe, fell off the rock, so to speak, maybe with some big movements. But definitely love what you're saying here about that, absolutely. The shifting of the axis. I find this interesting that the planet was mostly tropical with no seasons. I didn't know that. I thought that's a pretty good information right there. So I don't know. But certainly man is a tropical species, and I just think we need to start planting fruit trees everywhere. We can go and make the Gobi Desert a fruit grove if we wanted to. Some of these wells can go down 10,000 feet. I know where they're 5,000-foot wells. Danielle, oh yeah, Daniel, I am so worse than you. Then you went, well, Doc, they do know text scriptures, the priest wrote them. Yeah, man. I know. Anyway, my wife's best friend had a tree fall on him 2 days ago. I just talked to a lady who a tree fell on her head as a little girl and almost died. A tree fell on her head. It's unbelievable. Here's another. Tree fell on him 2 days ago. It completely broke clean apart. C6 and C7. Ow! Cord seems okay. Good. His diet is appalling. Well, not shouldn't be now, man. Hit 100% raw, upper circulation, brain and nerve. I do the Bones formula to accelerate that. parathyroid. Hit that up there really good. Kick up that calcium utilization. At the same time, move lymph so lymph can clean all that trauma. And then all your nutrition and goodies are going in there. The herbs are going in there to heal, to clean, and then he'll rebuild those tissues and he'll be okay. If he ended up as a quad, you could get him back. If he does this right now, he shouldn't end up as a quad. If not, if he continues down this omnivorous eating, if he isn't a quad now, that's good. But C6 and C7 is right on that line of quad and paraplegic. So you're giving me bones caps. Perfect. God, you guys are smart. Love it. Endo caps, perfect. Adrenals, perfect. Perfect. Lymphatic and stomach, should I get? Well, if he's moving his bowels real well, stomach and bowel, number 1. If he's kind of hitting and missing every day or so, number 2. If he misses about a day or 2, I'd go number 3. Further, if he's on pain pills, you might have to go up a little further. Lymphatics, I do lymphatic 4. Maybe do lymphatic 1 with it, or you want about 2 lymphatics with that. But I think I'll use the new brain and nerve for sure. Good catch, Daniel, on the bones formula, excellent. Real restorative to tissue. Look at Comfrey, knit bone, good stuff, But the nervous system, you want to strengthen that up, even though the cord is untouched. That's excellent. So he'll regenerate this, pick up his parathyroid a little bit. It'll help regenerate that, get that lymph moving to clean that area, because trauma is acidosis too. And we're good. I just got time for 1 or 2 more here. Amen. I have to go with you, sweet country Kim. I'm sorry. I tell you, it's just like I feel like I'm being pushed here. Time. Okay. But I'm with you with St. Jude's. I'm telling you, that's bad karma. It's unawareness, of course, but my God, I saw another commercial last night. The mom's walking with her kid. Now we're going to have a bald a Barbie. We're going. That's why I love to watch the news, to see how stupid man has become. And now we're going to have a bald Barbie for those poor children that we're ravishing with chemotherapy for the sake of trying to save their lives. Oh man, make me sick all over. But my heart pours out for these kids. I could go, we all could take off and go into St. Jude's, kick those creeps out of there, and start rebuilding. I bet you we could save 95% of those kids easy. And you parents might think that sounds really bizarre, but it ain't. I've been years of doing this, and it is not bizarre at all. It's what you're doing. You can't kill cells. You can't kill cells that are already damaged. I mean, all that they do is an oxymoron to life and vitality and health. It's totally contraindicated to what God does, is, and what's set up for man. It's totally radical. Michael Jerkson. I had to laugh at that one. That was pretty good. I didn't get the first part of your thing here. You've got continued here. 1.5 hour procedure under anesthesia. I'm not sure what procedure we're talking about, Mon. After I am done, there's any detox I should do from the anesthesia. Absolutely. If you go under in surgery, you definitely want to use new brain and nerve formula. You want to move those lymphs and clean all that out of you. That I've had plastic in my eye bone the rest of my life. Thanks for your time. So, I take it this surgery involves, did you break down your bone or something here and you're having some plastic? I don't know, plastic would be the choice, but you know what, I'm not a surgeon, but plastic seems a little toxic to put in the body. But again, I don't know what else you could make these things out of, but just keep your body healthy there, man. And yes, detox the anesthesia out of you. But I would take the new Brain and Nerve here for a month or two, couple bottles, build up that nervous system again a little bit. At the same time, get these neurotoxins out of your body, and you should be fine. Thank you so much, all of you, for listening again. I appreciate it. Apologize again for being so far behind here, but I'm working on it. Have a great night. Tomorrow is Friday. I'm off, but I'm going to come in and shoot about 2 hours and see if I can't catch up here a little bit. I think we're getting a good inventory of these things, and y'all keep taking care of yourselves. And just always keep it simple, and does it make common sense to you? And always use these tools that I'm giving you as a foundation and as a meter to judge by. Because if you use this as the core, you can take off into the intellectual side. Don't lose sight of this, or you'll get lost. And it'll take you a while to get back. That's the problem about should you be conscious or unconscious. Is it better to know or not to know? Well, I have to tell you it's better to know. It's never good to be unconscious. You always crave to be conscious. We'll see you all. I love you all very much. Thank you for this. And I'm going to bring my little doggie in here tomorrow so you can see my Coco. I hope I can do that. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.